Everyone thinks that Rockstar completely abandoned Red Dead Online, but if you will take a look at player count, you will see that they didn't. Instead, they're using, apparently, Red Dead Online as a huge, massive and very expensive testing ground for the future titles. Most likely GTA 6, but who knows, maybe for Red Dead Redemption 2 next gen as well. And yeah, it might look like a conspiracy theory, but after I will share all the data with you, you will probably say,
it all makes sense now.
Because it explains everything, especially recent issues with servers for Red Dead Online. You know, when you're not able to log in or being disconnected or cannot find any teammates for matchmaking, and the most importantly, it explains why it happens in Red Dead Online but not necessary in GTA Online. Anyway, it all started long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Actually, it started a year ago, exactly at the beginning of April. You see, before that, player count was not impressive. We have data only for Steam, but that's not important. So you see, almost no one played Red Dead Online in March, and then boom, suddenly, on Monday, player count almost doubled up, which is already suspicious, because you know, peak amount of players are usually happening on Sundays. In Red Dead Online, for example, it happened on Sundays after that very weird day. But the most importantly, somehow 1,500 players, at least additional players, started playing Red Dead Online on Monday 7th of April for no reason at all. Absolutely no reason. As you probably know, there are no updates in Red Dead Online. There was no patch that fixed something. There was no extra discounts. I mean, Red Dead Online receives maximum 50% discount, and it's the same for the last 5 years. There are no additional bigger discounts. There were no real reasons for player base to increase so dramatically. And you know, it's not only one day increase. All that additional players that were added by someone on the beginning of April, they were playing for a long time, for 9 months specifically, until they suddenly disappeared. And it looked like someone started to run a lot of bots in Red Dead Online for some weird reason, but you know, I had no proofs until the beginning of January, where this situation changed and became even more weird and more obvious actually. So take a look at what happened. There were players playing Red Dead Online, players, because at least half of them were bots. Maximum amount of players was on Sundays, and it looks like there were pretty much constant amount of bots that were playing Red Dead Online until the second week of January, where player count suddenly decreased, once again, for no reason at all. And after that, it started to behave very weirdly, because there were random spikes in amount of players. First was on Friday, but then every Tuesday, and not only every Tuesday, which you know makes no sense. I mean, there are no updates in Red Dead Online, but which is more important, every Tuesday on a very specific time. Every time is the same, and you know, it's been many weeks now, and it's always the same. It's always spike on Tuesday, and sometimes following spike on Friday or Thursday, but always on Tuesday. And if we will look closer, it will be even more suspicious, because look, this Tuesday, obviously by the evening of Tuesday, amount of players decreasing. At 10 p.m. London time, it's only 894 players are playing Red Dead Online standalone. But miracle happens, and 20 minutes later, 2,352 players are playing. Maybe suddenly, at 10 p.m. GMT, 1,500 people realized that they really want to play Red Dead Online, like right now. And the most importantly, they stopped playing only few hours later. They logged in, maybe completed daily challenges, and logged out. At the same exact time, every single week for the last 2 months. But here is an interesting thing. There is a small gap in data during this specific time. And you know why? Because at 10 p.m. exactly, Steam makes a scheduled weekly maintenance, 20 minutes. And if we will take it any other game, like, I don't know, Ark Riders, you see? There is a gap, but the graph continues. You can continue this graph. For example, the game from Rockstar, GTA 5 Legacy, same in Enhanced Edition. You see? A small gap, but the graph continues. I checked a lot of different games on Steam and everywhere it looks the same. There is a small gap in this 20 minutes in data, but graph looks normal, except for two games that I found. First one is Red Dead Online, where the difference is obvious. Like, look, someone magically activated 1,500 accounts during that Steam maintenance. But second one, and you never gonna guess it. Okay, you gonna guess it, because it's Red Dead Redemption 2, which also can be used to play Red Dead Online. Because take a look, 21,100 and then boom, 23,600. It's pretty much the same difference, but it's less noticeable on a graph, simply because there are more legit, like real people playing Red Dead Redemption 2 than Red Dead Online standalone, and that's why here this difference is more noticeable. Anyway, from data like this, it's pretty obvious that there is some non-organic player count increase happens, but you might say, well, it might not be Rockstar behind it all, maybe it's some companies that are grinding gold. You might say that especially if you played some other online games. For example, it happens in World of Warcraft, or at least it used to happen. But there is a one huge difference. No one is gonna be grinding gold in Red Dead Online to sell it to other players, because any single player can just log in, install the simplest menu and cheat as much gold or experience as they want. I mean, I literally recently was making a video about public lobbies on PC, and I was constantly seeing cheaters who were just spawning chests with gold to random players. And guess what? For many years now, no one is getting banned. Players who are taking this gold are not getting banned. Players who are using mod menus are not getting banned. No one. Rockstar just don't care. And I'm not even speaking about the fact that it will take huge amount of resources to run 1,000+ bots to simply grind all this gold. I mean, they will have to spend at least $10,000 on buying copies of Red Dead Online standalone, even with discount. And I'm not even talking about computing power required to run all these bots for 9 months in a row. It's just not worth it. No one's gonna do it. It's just, there is only one reasonable explanation. All these bots, all these suspicious players are run by Rockstar because they're testing something. But you might say, if Rockstar were testing something, data miner could tell what they're working on. And no. You see, previously it was really possible to go to SteamDB and check update history and check which branches were changed, which depots exactly, how they were changed, how their size changed, and based on that information tell if Rockstar are working on some content, or maybe bug fixes, or maybe security fixes for GTA Online and Red Dead Online. But few months before that huge amount of suspicious players joined the Red Dead Online servers, Rockstar decided to hide this information. And first, they hid this information for Red Dead Online and Red Dead Redemption, and then for all other games that they are making, including GTA. And now you cannot get any valuable information from all these branches changes and depots changes. By the way, another interesting thing about when exactly, what time exactly this sudden change happens every day, is that it's the middle of a working day for Rockstar San Diego. This studio was original birthplace of Red Dead Redemption franchise, and also they are famous for working on Rage, Rockstar's engine. And yeah, Rockstar San Diego never worked on Red Dead Online content as far as I know. But if someone is running complex, expensive engine level network tests using Red Dead Online as a testing ground, it must be them. So it really looks like someone was making a long, expensive test right here and here, like right now. It's the final stages of this test. is basically a polishing. They already got the results they want, they're making some small changes, and they're running all these bots once again, once a week or twice if they need. And by the way, interesting coincidence, look at this, 27th of January, huge spike because it's Tuesday. But you know what happened on 27th of January? Rockstar fixed a bug that was in Red Dead Online for a few months. Because of this bug, it was not possible to play certain missions, such as blood money contracts, infamous bounty missions, and legendary animals with your group, or even if you were the only player in the group. And they fixed it. On that exact day, I checked it. And yeah, even though there are a lot of these suspicious accounts in Red Dead Online, which I think are bots, it doesn't mean that you will see them in your lobbies. Probably everyone that you see in your lobby are legit, real people. But it doesn't mean that these tests and results of these tests are not affecting your gaming experience if you are playing Red Dead Online. Because, you know, there are a lot of weird connectivity issues recently with Red Dead Online. And don't get me wrong, there were always problems with Rockstar servers, but previously, when there were issues with connecting to Red Dead Online, there were issues with connecting to GTA Online at the same time. But now the situation is different. I mean, half of the time, yeah, all servers having issues, but many times in the previous few months there were issues with Red Dead Online servers when GTA Online servers were working fine. For example, look at this. All servers are fine, it's a Rockstar server status official site, except for Red Dead Online on PlayStation and PC. By the way, this happened on Wednesday, right after this suspicious increase in player count. And few more times on Wednesdays, players were experiencing serious problems with servers, so it really looks like a stress test. But there were problems on other days as well. So it looks like they're testing something, they're changing something on server side, and these changes are affecting Red Dead Online players only. And yeah, that's why they're making this huge test in Red Dead Online, even though it's for GTA 6 Online, most likely. They're not making it in GTA 5 Online for two reasons. First of all, Red Dead Redemption 2 is much closer to GTA 6. I mean, it will be much more similar games than GTA 5 and GTA 6. And Red Dead Online is gonna be much closer to GTA 6 Online, so it makes sense to test everything in a newer version. But the main reason is probably different. Imagine if they were testing in GTA Online, the main cash cow, and they were making changes that were affecting players' experience, like it happens now. I mean, all these disconnects, matchmaking errors and stuff. But it happens in Red Dead Online, and they don't care about Red Dead Online. But in GTA Online they cannot afford it, because players are not gonna be buying share cards, not gonna be buying GTA Plus, they will lose a lot of money. So that's why they can safely test it only in Red Dead Online. And by the way, what are they even testing? It could be anything actually. It could be some kind of a stress test, how the servers, after all the changes that they're making, are gonna be reacting to the huge amount of players connecting to them. Second thing that they can be changing, especially during this huge 9-month period when a lot of accounts were running constantly, is how their peer-to-peer servers are gonna function, are gonna work. They obviously gonna make some changes to how peer-to-peer connection works, and now they're running different tests and to see the results. But obviously it could be anything. Maybe they're testing like AI agents that looks after players and sees who's using some glitches, bugs or cheats or something like that. All we know for sure is that they were testing something for a long time and it was a serious process, and now we are on final stages of this process. So we might see results really soon if rumored next-gen version of Red Dead Redemption 2 will really be released in 2026, because it will happen before release of GTA 6, and it means that it will happen soon. Or maybe we will see results of these tests later, when GTA 6 Online will be launched. Let me know what do you think about that in the comments, and maybe you even think that it's some third party running all these bots to grind gold, but if you think so, I suggest you to check the video that you can see here. It's an experiment where I was joining different lobbies, and you will see the state of Red Dead Online on PC right now and probably will change your mind. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, goodbye.